And they usually come at the worst possible time for you personally if you're involved in anything related to that, right?
Yeah. I call it the FUD
it's
line. Right
yeah,
when the price hits the certain point that makes you happy, the FUD comes out. And then you do your dip.
So my view on it is this, right? If there is all that money back in Tether, I don't understand how Tether is any different than e-gold. And you remember e-gold, right?
Yeah. Right. But now whose side are you on, Mr. Decentralized Crypto guy? Right? So if you're going to argue that this is a violation of regulation, to some degree, our podcast talking about it is probably a violation of a regulation as well. I mean, arguing that things are against regulations is not a strong argument. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not arguing. No, I'm not arguing that it's against regulation. I'm arguing that it's
e-gold worked really well until they shut that shit down from being centralized.
Right. Exactly. So to me, this is my problem with Tether. I didn't care about Tether when it was a $10 million problem. Tether, if it's not a billion, it'll be a billion within a month or two. Okay. Yeah.
So they've already rolled out a competitive thing to fail over to if Tether fails. I don't know what it's called, but they rolled one out. And you have the opportunity to, instead of shit talking it, start your own. There's some other altcoin that performs the same function. They've rolled out another coin on their exchange that performs the same function that they could probably fail over to if there was a problem. And since they seem to be so profitable to do, everyone go start your own Tether competitor. Go gather up a bunch of people with bank accounts and launch your own Tether competitor and fight the good fight. And whoever is the most transparent can win. And I'm fine with that. I'm great with that. I mean, look, in an ideal world, we wouldn't have to route around banks sucking so bad. But we don't live in an ideal world, right? So in the world that we got, if everyone's got to play games, this is what games looks like.
Right. No, what my thought on it was that to me, if the money is sitting there, it's another e-gold, and it's not that.
It's just.
I'm not here to be the regulatory police here, right? I'm just saying that it's naive to think that the way Tether is going to end is any different than the way e-gold ended. They're going to show up and they're going to take the underlying, whether that's US dollars or whether that's gold.
Yeah,
and then your
it could happen.
Project goes up.
But what are you going to do? Like you try and route around it the best you can, but like
yeah, exactly, which is why I would not be holding any Tether. So the question becomes, if Tether goes up, what does it do to the crypto markets?
Well, okay, let's see. It's going to hurt shitcoin exchanges because Tether probably buys as many shitcoins as it does Bitcoin, maybe more.
Probably more.
And then I mean, look at I'll give you an example, okay? A lot of people had a lot of millions of dollars on Mt. Gox, and they didn't get their money, and they didn't get their coins. And so I think if Tether were to fail or a large exchange were to fail, then you'd see Bitcoin price go up for the same reasons that it went up when Mt. Gox failed, because the people that are in the know prefer to try and escape the funds, buy Bitcoin, than to just sit on more Bitcoin that goes into bankruptcy.
Right, but then we hit a 16-month bear market.
You might hit that anyway, bro. I mean, this is life. Like, like look, as long as we've got new people that want in, Wall Street's not in, everyone's not sold their house yet, everyone's not sold their car yet, we're going up. But once everyone's sold their house, once everyone's sold their car, we might go down.
I also think that a sudden collapse in Tether would have a short-term huge rise in Bitcoin, because people will be buying Bitcoin at like 10 cents on the dollar to get rid of their Tether, right? Like
what do you want to sit in, coin or Tether? You can buy the coin.
And that would drive the price of it up. In addition, some of the shit coins, you have no more base, everything gets based against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of people are watching what's happening with Tether, and they're like, well, we can also launch a coin. We can back it 1-to-1 to the dollar.
There you go. Do it.
But how are the profits made there, right? That's the other thing, right? If it's it can't exactly be 1-to-1.
Probably
right?
fees.
You got to have some kind of fees. So that means that it's not exactly 1-to-1. It depreciates over time.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, I don't understand how people in the crypto space hate the US dollar and hate the Fed, but they seem to like Tether because it's the same thing.
Oh, they're just useful. They're so useful. If you need, like, if you're trying to perform arbitrage between two exchanges and your options are move Tether and make the ARB money now, or wait for the banks to open and don't make the ARB money, Tether's really useful for arbitraging prices between exchanges. So, you know, if you wanted the real solution to this problem, you have to fix the banking system that we're attached to currently, because that's where everyone's money is currently. So right now, this distributed suckage is the best that we've got to route around bad banking regulations and scared bankers, right? If we didn't have scared bankers, or we had better regulations that caused them to be less scared, we wouldn't need any of this magic, right? Everyone could buy Bitcoin with their credit card, and everyone could, you know, buy Bitcoin with their ACH deposits and just take a picture of your check. But that's not the world we live in. The world we live in is where we have counterparties that treat us as enemies, treat us as scumbags, treat us as criminals for just wanting to do commerce with each other. And, you know, these types of weird, distributed, shady, cloudy things are the only current solution that I can think of to that problem, other than moving to New York and not having New York customers, or like it you know what it costs to get a license in every state? I think it's like 20 mil. Crazy. Like, if you want licensed and bonded and insured everywhere, and all the insurance surety bonds you got to put up, I think it's like 20 million just to get started. And then you get to operate at low margins because you're competing with Coinbase that's venture funded and done rounds at 100 mil or more. So your option is either Tether or go become Coinbase. You know, we just need to we have to endure the shadiness for a year or 2 or 3, and then we'll have better counterparties everywhere and it won't matter.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, the crypto space is like as shady as
it's not our fault, bro. It's the existing system's fault, man. I mean, it's the reason we had to start in the first place.
Hey, so I asked my audience to throw some questions at us. Hopefully my friend Rich is around. So in the meantime, I got about 20 minutes maximum. Anything else you want to talk about? Any topics you want to explore?
Let me think. Futures, bullish, mania, bullish, Lightning Network, super cool. Live transactions.
I got something. Okay. Did you watch the recent Jimmy Song versus Roger Ver debate?
I didn't. Was it any good?
Okay. I heard it was terrible, but I haven't seen it myself. I'm like scared to watch it. You had one with Roger as well, and I've had one with Roger.
Yeah, I saw yours.
Yeah,
I saw yours.
And I saw yours. I mean, I know Jimmy is disappointed in how he did. He thought he was going to do better.
Rogers,
where are we going?
Roger's got talking points, and he sticks to them.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of have an idea of where we're going wrong, and I advise everyone not to debate Roger.
Yeah.
But
the time's over.
And right, and the thing is, well, first of all, it's obvious which is the real Bitcoin. But besides that, right? Besides that, my view on these debates is the problem is that when Roger interrupts, he changes the topic.
Yeah.
And it makes you look like a nutcase because you haven't explained the previous topic, and now you're going crazy trying to frantically explain the next one in 2 sentences of something very, very complicated before he changes the topic and screams censorship as you're trying to explain a technical aspect. So my view on it is, if anyone in the future is going to be debating Roger, have a middleman, neutral or not, it doesn't matter, with a finger on the mute button, one person explain the technical aspect of things.
If one person has been saying the same talking points for a few years and has practiced them and sharpened them and seen everyone's counters, he's like the left-handed boxer, right? He's used to fighting righties, but as a righty, you're not used to fighting a lefty. He has the advantage, right? He has home field advantage. So if you allow him to get into his talking points at all, he'll eat up the time with him and you won't win. And the other issue is, you know, like, for the same reason I won't mention certain trolls, I just ghost them, depower them. It's not fun to screw with me because I don't respond, I don't react, and they just don't exist to me. That's how you have to treat shitcoiners that want to pump affiliate links. That's how you got to treat everyone that by fighting back, you lose. You got to let them harm you and just eat the harm and don't fight back. So if Roger Ver wants to pretend that his Bitcoin is the real Bitcoin, and steal all the hard work and code of the people that he demonizes, right? His project's built on code written through the hard labor and effort of the volunteers that he shit talks all the time about being evil, right? He uses their labor for his own profit while harming the real network, while harming the reputations of people that wrote that code, right? So when you install a Bitcoin fake, I'm going to call it Bitcoin fake, right?
I'm calling it Chinese knockoffs now.
When you install that and it runs, large portions of that do run well, they run well because a volunteer wrote it. And to dishonor and disrespect the people that put their hard work into making the binaries download faster, making it not crash, making it verify quicker, making it support HD wallets, all of the progress that we've had from when there was no GUI to when there was, you know, it's disgusting to me. And it's gross and it's perverted. And to not only steal the work, but to steal the name and to use the same addressing format. So I was on Reddit yesterday reading.
Bad. That was bad.
There's people that lose money every single day by confusing fake Bitcoin with real Bitcoin.
Yep.
They send it to the wrong address. It's over. All gone. Good luck. So bad. So terrible. And to get into, it's literally, it's Judas. It's used to be on the team, not on the team anymore. Used to be for Bitcoin. Now he's for harming it. Now he's for shit talking it. Now he's for paying to say bad things about it. Oh, that's gross, man. That is gross.
Right,
and
so
for